something, bud. You are all that I see. You got dynamite. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I wanna say something, bud. You are all that I see. You got dynamite. That smile's gonna be the end of me. I bet you taste like chocolate. Can I have it for free? I'm an explosion, and that smile's gonna be the end of me. That smile's.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks very much for joining us. There I am now. How are we all doing today? Italian Grand Prix is about to get underway in about 5 minutes. Well, probably less than 5 minutes time. As always, I'm very excited about this. I'm hoping for a very good race today. What I will say is, though, it's been raining and it looks like we're going to have a wet start in Imola. Track looks like it's dried out a bit since this morning, so it appears that everybody is starting on the intermediate tyres right now. Will we see dry lines or will we see more rain during the race? I think that's the big question. Look, in terms of the strategy for tyres, we had assumed that most cars would be starting on the medium tyre and would then switch to the hard tyre, and it would be a one-stopper. I think with the rain, it adds a few variables in here, of course. A few more pit stops, potentially. More safety cars. Hopefully no red flags. Please spare us from red flags, because I just hate that. I want to see some racing at least. And maybe we'll shake up the order a little bit. Valtteri, Bottas, or the McLarens could do really well in the rain. Potentially. As could anyone. Maybe this is exactly what Hamilton needs. Practice on Friday suggests maybe not, but who knows. Alright, look, before we get going here, let's have a look at the starting grid. So we have Zhou starting in 20th. Of course, he had that crash yesterday during the sprint race, and that's the reason he's starting in 20th. Latifi 19th, Albon 18th, Gasly 17th, Ocon 16th, Stroll 15th. Surprise, surprise, Hamilton 14th, so he's actually done one place worse than he qualified on Friday as a result of the sprint race yesterday. Shocking, absolutely shocking. I don't know what to say. I have no words. Hopefully he can bring it back today. Vettel then is in 13th. Tsunoda is in 12th, Russell is in 11th, and of course Russell is driving the furthest or the highest up Mercedes car on the list. It's incredible. Mercedes just are not performing well so far under the new regulations this year. Schumacher then starts in 10th, so a good sprint race for him to make it into the top 10. Of course, he didn't get any points for that because they only give points to 8 in the sprint, but there are points up to top 10 today. Alonso then is in 9th, Magnussen is in 8th, Bottas 7th, Ricciardo 6th, Norris 5th, Sainz 4th, Perez 3rd, Leclerc 2nd, and Verstappen in 1st place. It's a great lineup. There is a lot of potential there between the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. I don't know. I don't think McLaren can get in the mix, although if the weather stays wet, they potentially can. And I would like to see those Mercedes move through the field as well. And maybe Haas or Alfa Romeo will have a bit of speed. And we all know that Fernando Alonso is always good for a little bit of action. So yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. They're getting ready now just to do their formation lap as we speak. All of the teams are just moving over to the side. On board there with Verstappen, of course. The lead Red Bull at the moment. I hope he finishes the race today. Seriously. We do not need another DNF. So it looks like our race tracker is not working yet. I'll keep an eye on that one. Looks like all cars are on inters at the moment. Zhou might be starting in the pit lane. With regards to the pit strategy that I had mentioned earlier, here's the tweet from Pirelli. So they were saying most cars to start on the medium tyre, then switch over to the hard tyre. Or alternatively, with very little difference, you could start with the soft tyre and then switch over to the hard tyre. As we know, everybody now is starting on the inters, so this doesn't matter so much. I wonder if there's a point in the race where they can transition to the hard tyre, and I guess if they do, they'll be able to to bring it home. To bring it home from there. There's the Ferrari crowd. Lots of red flares, red flags. Home Grand Prix pretty much for the Ferrari team, so they'll be willing Charles and Carlos to do really, really well here today. So who are we all going for? What are our predictions for today's race win? Yeah, as I said, it's a little bit mixed up now that we have the rain, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I still think the Ferrari and Red Bull is going to be very, very strong. So predictions, put your predictions in the comments. I want to see who has the most madcap prediction of all. Perhaps give me a reason for your prediction if it's way out there. I really want to hear about this. So my prediction, I think Ferrari are feeling a little bit sore after yesterday, and they will do everything they can to beat the Red Bull, but it has to be Verstappen. It just has to be Verstappen to win this. He needs this for the championship. He can't not win as far as I'm concerned. So he has to do everything he can. So for that reason, look, I'm going to call it Verstappen for the win. Dark horse for the race, Sergio Perez. Watch him. He was so fast yesterday. He just suffered from having a bad starting spot, but he was very, very fast yesterday. He actually set the fastest lap during the sprint race as well. So there you go. That's my dark horse prediction for the race. Oh, the tracker is working. It's a little bit too fast, actually. Come back here, tracker. Now we're just watching when the Williams come around to line up on the grid. I guess that's Latifi. Yeah, that was Latifi. So Zhou will be starting from the pit lane. They have the green flag. They have the lights. They're on, all 5. Lights out. And they're off. It looks like a very aggressive start here from Verstappen. And there's Perez with a great start as well. Great start for Perez. And is that... Yeah, that's one of the McLarens up into third place as well. It's Norris. It's Norris in third place. And... oh no. Who's this? Who's this? It's Sainz. Is it Sainz? Sainz is stuck. I don't believe it. No! We need Carlos Sainz to finish this race. I've said so many times, I think he may be the only person that can challenge Leclerc for this championship. And he's out again. Out again. I don't believe it. Like this. This is very upsetting for me. This is really upsetting. Very unhappy, I must say. I'm really unhappy here. I can't believe Sainz is out of the race. I'd love to go back there, see what happened. Did he get out of the gravel? It looked like he was well and truly beached. Yeah, he's definitely beached. He's stuck. Safety car is out. Oh. I don't believe it. Sainz is out. Ricciardo is in second last, by the way, so Ricciardo was obviously involved in that. Charles, welcome to the chat. So you're saying, whilst Max and Charles, oh, your namesake Charles, will be on the podium, I think we might get a surprise appearance in the top 3, Norris or Danny Rick. Well, Norris is living up to that at the moment. Danny Rick, though, down in 19th. Oh, okay, here's a replay of what happened. It's a fantastic start here for both of the Red Bulls, and Norris got a really good start as well. He gets past Leclerc, and Ricciardo tags the back of Sainz's car and spins him around. Ricciardo manages to keep a bit of momentum in his car, though, and he keeps going through the gravel. Sainz, he's beached. He's spinning his tires. This is the onboard now with Carlos Sainz. Oh, he nearly spun it on the grid there. Just the power, the torque of those cars when they put the foot down in those wet conditions. Here he goes into the first corner. And yeah, there's the tap. He gets turned around. Team radio for Sainz. Yeah, he just says he hit him. He definitely hit him. 100% hit him. Alrighty, so as I said, we have the safety car. Let me just put that up on screen so we're all on the same page here. So it is Verstappen that's leading, but it's Perez up into second. Oh, Bottas actually made contact with Ricciardo. Okay, so he needs to check his front ring. Interestingly, one of the Mercs just went through. It's Russell. Russell is up into 6th. Great start for Russell. That's a really, really good start for Russell. Really, really good start there for Russell. Let's have a run through of the order. So Sainz is out. Oh, I missed the Ricciardo team radio. Sainz is out of the race. Our chances at a championship are dwindling at this very moment in time. If now this would be a very good result for Red Bull if they were able to push Perez between Verstappen and Leclerc, because it maximizes the points then for Verstappen. He's still so far behind though. He's so very, very far behind on the points. I'm not sure how far exactly behind he is. I think it's like 30 to 40 points. Just looking at the corner of my screen, but that's the team standing, and then of course we have the grid after that. It'll come up shortly. Alright, so it's Ricciardo basically in last place now. Zhou is in 18th. Schumacher is down to 17th, so something has happened with Schumacher as well. No idea what happened there with Schumacher. Want to see a replay of that. There's Sainz, he's getting a lift on the scooter. Back to the pits, no doubt. Latifi then 16th, Albon 15th, Gasly 14th, Ocon 13th, Hamilton is up to 12th. He's made a good start, but it's 2 positions, and when you consider that Sainz and Ricciardo have dropped out of the mix, it's those 2 positions. So just smooth sailing, I suppose, for Hamilton. The key is stay out of trouble. Definitely stay out of trouble. He has been overtaken though by a few cars. We have Stroll then in 11th. We have Tsunoda in 10th. Vettel is in 9th. Alonso is 8th. Ricciardo just pitted there. I think he put on new intermediates. So it's Alonso in 8th. Bottas 7th. He may have damage to his front wing. It remains to be seen, but he did make contact with Ricciardo. He ran into the back of him. Russell up into 6th. Great from Russell. Very, very good. Magnussen is up into 5th. Also really, really good. So contrasting fortunes there for the Haas cars. Magnussen up into 5th, and then we have Schumacher down to 17th. Verstappen team radio. Nobody has pitted for slick tires, they're telling Max, just to keep him aware of everything that's happening. Sorry, where did I finish there? Yeah, Magnussen is in 5th, I should say. We have Leclerc then in 4th. Can you believe it? He's in 4th place. He should make short work of that McLaren though once we get back up and running, and that McLaren is Lando Norris, who is in 3rd place. Perez then is in 2nd place. A fantastic start for both of the Red Bulls. I think they learned a lot from yesterday's start. In particular, Max Verstappen had a very challenging start yesterday where he lost the lead to Leclerc. Team radio. Yeah, Leclerc is saying that the track is drying up very, very quickly. Okay, so we should see early pit stops. Actually, I think it's better for the race if it dries up in the first few laps, because then it's a whole situation of will they go to the end on the tires that they switch over to, hard tires, I assume, or will it be a 2-stopper? I'd go for a 2-stopper, but hard to do. There are some serious drivers out there who really like to test the tires. We've seen it, we've seen what Albon has done. We see what Perez can do as well. Some great drivers out there that can really maintain the life of those tires. And then rounding out at the very, very front, of course, we had Verstappen. The safety car restart is going to be intriguing. Earl, oh no, my Ferrari. Tell me about it, Earl. I am absolutely devastated. I so want Sainz to be in the mix here. We saw last year he was able to put it up to Leclerc, and it's just all going wrong for him. I don't know if it's pressure. This occasion wasn't pressure because he had not a lot to say about it. Ricciardo just tagged him and took him out. I'm also terrifically disappointed, let's put it that way, that Ricciardo is now out of the mix as well, because if ever there are 2 drivers that need some good results, it's Sainz and Ricciardo, and there they are taking each other out. Now Ricciardo did manage to keep his car going, but Sainz has beached it. He's stuck. The first thing we saw in that shot was him spin the wheels, and no, it's going nowhere. Going absolutely nowhere. So yeah, I'm there with you. I'm there with you. I want a good championship after all, and I like Sainz and I like Leclerc. I think they're a very strong pairing, very interesting pairing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. For a split second, when I saw that incident at the very start, I thought, wait, is that Leclerc? Are we going to have a dramatic turnaround in the championship here, where Verstappen is suddenly back in contention? Could Russell end up leading the championship? Well, he wouldn't end up leading the championship after today's race, but he would close that gap. Vettel team radio. Okay, I'm not sure what they said there. They might be talking about additional rain. Interesting. So Russell is up 5 places, Vettel is up 4 places, and Stroll is up 4 places. So that's all the Mercedes-engined cars that are doing quite well from the start. So maybe the rainy conditions suit them. Okay, we are restarted here. Nearly missed out on that. Now, can Leclerc get the move done on Norris? That is the question. Let's turn off the safety car. He's tried something, but a very defensive line there from Norris. So Norris is going to hang on as much as he can to this position. Russell then is all over the back of Magnussen. You're right, Earl. Yes, starting with it was with Sainz, wasn't it, in number 2 in the championship after yesterday's sprint race. Devastating. But yeah, Charles is there or thereabouts. I think he's going to get past Norris soon. Of course, no DRS at the moment. Magnussen, though, may make a nuisance of himself here. He may just. He's keeping in touch with Leclerc. What's the gap now? 1.3 seconds between Verstappen and Perez. I'm not expecting Perez to push Verstappen under any pressure whatsoever. However, if anything happens to Verstappen, he'll be there to pick up the pieces. For sure. So Verstappen is our race leader. Norris is in 3rd, Leclerc 4th, Magnussen 5th, Russell 6th, Bottas 7th. So still running for Bottas. And we have Vettel 8th, Tsunoda 9th, Stroll in 10th. Earl says we'll do it here in Miami. Yes, indeed. I'm really looking forward to the Miami race coming up just at the next month, the start of next month. It's in May. It's really soon. It's the next race, I believe, after this one. So really looking forward to that. It's been a long time since Formula 1 has raced in Miami. Before my time, I would say. Now Magnussen is pulling away from Russell, they're saying. Let's have a look at those gaps. 1.5, nearly going on 2 seconds gap here. So that is good going then. Good going for Magnussen. Conditions obviously suit him as well. And Alonso is making a nuisance of himself now for Russell. No, it's Hamilton. It's Hamilton he's behind. I couldn't figure that out. I thought Bottas was behind him. Is there an issue here with Alonso? That's the question. Alonso has Ocon just behind him now. I'm not seeing any damage on the car. The commentary team are saying that there might be damage to Alonso. Not seeing any damage. Okay, on board here with Lewis Hamilton. Trying to get past Alonso. Oh yeah. Yeah, the side panel of the car just... it exploded or came off or something as Hamilton was going past him there. No contact from Hamilton by the looks of it. Now the race is still wet, so they're not going to enable DRS, which is not helping Leclerc. He's still stuck behind Norris. We're coming down to the end of the home straight and he's not able to even attempt to move. Meanwhile, fastest lap here for Max Verstappen. It's all looking very ominous. Alonso's in the pits now. He wants to know how bad the damage is. Oh yeah, it's really bad. Wow, you can see the insides of the radiators and everything. We saw this happen actually during the practice sessions, or the testing sessions. That one of the side panels just came off the Alpine, and it seems to have happened again. So that's obviously a weakness for them. And Alonso is out of the race as well. Not a good day if you're a Spanish Formula 1 fan. Not a good day at all. Alonso's out and Sainz is out. Do we have any other Spanish drivers on the grid? I don't think we do. This ain't quite MotoGP, where there are plenty of Spanish riders in that. Very disappointing. I'm also a big fan of Alonso, and he's also out. I tell you if a few other drivers drop out of this race, I might have to just switch it off. No, that's not possible, because of course if Verstappen, Perez and Leclerc drop out of this race, then of course we have Magnussen or Norris on for the win. That would be fantastic. Love to see that. And maybe somebody will give Hamilton a hurry up as well, and he can move up through the field. But Russell also could find himself in contention. Now, there's Leclerc. He gets a very clean move done on Norris, so that's impressive. Norris is going to try and fight back straight away here. Leclerc is taking a defensive line, though. He's saying, well, you can go down the inside, but you're going to run deep if you do that. He's true. You can hear the crowd. You can really hear them. They loved that. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they love to see the Italian Ferrari come through for third place? Now, can he close down Perez? Let's see what speed this Ferrari really has. Let's see how much speed they have. Now, so we know Earl is joining us from Miami. Where's everybody else watching us from today? I usually get quite a mix of different nationalities and different time zones here. It's always intriguing. Formula 1 it's a global sport after all. It is a global sport. Well, they're fixing up Alonso's car in the garage there. I don't know if they're planning to send him back out just in case the attrition in this race is high. Schumacher got spun around by Alonso, actually. Oh my god, this is very dramatic. See if I can track down a picture of this and post it up on the Facebook later, but it just exploded coming down the straight. And I don't know if it's as a result of the damage from the contact with Schumacher, or if it's just weak. Here's Hamilton now. Hamilton has gotten himself up into 11th place, and he's about a second behind Stroll. You would fancy Hamilton to get the move done on Stroll. He's looking racy, actually. The body language of the car looks good at the moment. There's a very clear dry line coming through. A very, very clear dry line now. I wonder how long before we see cars gamble and go in for dry tyres. Who's going to be the first to make that gamble as well? It won't be the front runners. I'd be surprised if it was the front runners. Ferrari, could they pull off a little bit of a strategic move here on Red Bull? Ferrari not known for their killer strategies, I have to say. It could be Perez. Red Bull could take the gamble. It could be Perez to be the first to pit for dry tyres. I suspect, though, it'll be somebody like Vettel that will do that. He usually likes to test the limits in these types of occasions. Ricciardo doesn't have a lot to lose either by doing it, I have to say. He's all the way down in 18th at last place at the moment, assuming Alonso does not make his way back out with a duct taped up car, which I don't think is going to happen somehow. Russell now is all over the back of Magnussen. Can Russell get the move done on Magnussen? Oh, he was very close. He was very close. He certainly made himself big in the mirrors of Magnussen. These cars can definitely run close to each other. And this is without DRS as well, so this is impressive. Yeah, the Mercedes, that's both Mercedes cars now looking very racy. Okay, Verstappen says it's not dry enough at the moment to go onto slicks. We've heard his perspective on this. Now, Magnussen is under pressure once again. I don't know whose pit we're looking at here, but they're showing us the weather radar. And there's quite a lot of rain moving across that, so it could potentially rain again. Big pressure here from Russell. Now, Is Russell going to burn up his tyres though by being so close to the back of Magnussen here and staying on the dry line? Let's see if he goes off onto the wet. Yeah, he's just moved over onto the wet there for a little bit, so he's trying to preserve his tyres. Good, 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 good. Yeah, Charles is running in third now. He got a very tidy move done on Norris, as expected. And I'm going to keep an eye on the times to see if he can close the gap. So 6.5 seconds behind Perez, 6.2 seconds now. So he is closing the gap slightly. Here we go. Oh, I don't think that move is going to work for Russell. Yeah, he pulled out of it, thankfully. I actually had a flashback there of the Russell-Bottas incident when I saw that for a second. Yeah, Magnussen moving over into the wet as well. Keep his tyres alive. Good thinking, K-Mag. Good thinking. Oh, Russell. He's really making himself big. This is very aggressive here from Russell. Expecting rain in the next 10 laps, they're telling Latifi. Alright, we might have a splash and dash then. I think soon we're going to have cars coming in for slicks, dry weather tyres, and then they'll be back in for inters or wet weather towards the end of the race. This could be very exciting, and as long as we don't get a red flag, that's all I don't want. Because even when there's a safety car going around, there's usually something to talk about. But red flag, no, just waiting, time ticking away. Now, this is a lovely camera angle here. It's right on the nose cone of the Mercedes, and you can see really how close he's getting to the back of Magnussen's car. Sometimes he's actually getting his wing right up to the back tyres. So it's 0.4 of a second between Russell and Magnussen, and we're keeping an eye on this at the moment. Bottas is staying in touch as well. I think he'd love to get in on the action here. Coming down the pit straight now. Will Magnussen hold him off? Here goes Russell around the outside. He's trying it. It looks like he's got it done. Can he get the car stopped? Oh, that's bumpy. He's gone over the curbs there. And Magnussen has taken the position back off him. So he had better traction coming through there. Great bit of action there. And Bottas is now all over the back of Russell. So they're slowing each other down whilst they're doing this. And Bottas is now suddenly involved again. Looking at the gaps, 5.3 seconds between Perez and Verstappen, 7.7 seconds back from Perez to Leclerc. So Leclerc is losing time on Perez at the moment. Let's come back to this battle. It looked like Russell was attempting it again. Not a conventional overtaking spot there, but he can't get it done just yet. As I say that, so Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc and Norris will be coming around now to the final corners. Yeah, Verstappen is going down the pit straight at the moment. And now, oh, Russell has got the move done. I was going to say we're coming up to the final pit straight here. Russell gets the move done into the final corner. And Bottas now will try to also get past. It's not even the final corner, it was the penultimate corner. Or penultimate set of corners, I should say. And so Russell, he gets the move done, and he looked very fast there. Now Bottas, will he be able to get past Magnussen here? He was brought into play very much by the battle between these two. No, he won't get the move done there. Definitely not. Norris is 15 seconds off the lead. Sorry, I said something incorrect earlier, so I'm looking at the wrong gaps here. So I'm looking at the gap from the leader. 5.7 seconds, Perez from Verstappen. Okay. And then we have 2.2 seconds between Perez and Leclerc. So Leclerc is closing in on Perez. Good news. Good news. He is closing in on him. And then 7 seconds back to Norris from Leclerc. 7.6 seconds. We've Russell then 4 seconds behind Norris. So Russell could close in on Norris now that he has some free air. And Magnussen is now 2 seconds behind Russell. So that Merc was definitely much faster than the Haas. Okay, Ash, don't tell anyone. This could be a loophole. Yeah, okay, Bottas gets the move done. He gets past Magnussen, so Magnussen is falling down the order a little bit now. And he has Vettel 1.8 seconds behind him now, so he's next up for Magnussen. I'm sure Vettel will keep an eye on this. The Mercedes-powered cars seem to be running quite well in these conditions, actually. It's good to see. Hamilton is 0.2 of a second behind Stroll. I was about to say Hamilton hasn't gotten past Stroll yet, but he's all over his gearbox at the moment. Yeah, there's Hamilton moving over into the wet just to cool down his tyres. So nobody has pitted yet for dry weather tyres. Nobody is willing to make that risk yet. And realistically, they need to... let's see, how far do they need to go here? They probably need to make it to lap 15, 16, 17, I guess. And we're on lap 15 at the moment to make the switch over to the hard tyres. Just showing us a replay here of George Russell getting past Kevin Magnussen. Oh, it's the one where Russell overshot it, went over the curbs, and Magnussen took back the position. It was great, actually. It was very, very entertaining, I must say, indeed. Let me pop the tires back up. Okay, so they were saying lap 22 to 29, so maybe they are going to try and hold out. So we're on lap 15 or 16, yeah, still lap 15 at the moment. So yeah, by that reckoning, we have another 7, 8, 9, 10 laps on these intermediate tires if the teams can make it work before they make the switch over. Of course, though, we did hear that there was more rain coming in as well. Hamilton he's not able to get the move done here. Verstappen team radio. Okay, Verstappen says he's sliding, which probably means that he's worn off the grooves of his tires. Burning them up. Slow down, Max. Burning your tires. Slow down. Leclerc 1.4 seconds now behind Perez. He's coming. He's coming, but he's still, let's see, 7.7 seconds behind Verstappen. So a bit of a gap to go still to Verstappen. Verstappen holds the fastest lap as well right now. That will drop dramatically though as the track dries out and everybody moves on to the, I was about to say wet weather tires, warm weather tires, dry weather tires. That's the one. This is a helicopter shot they're showing us at the moment of Hamilton, Stroll and Tsunoda, who's also kind of involved in this battle a little bit. So he's just slightly further down the road from Stroll. Stroll is, of course, defending now from Hamilton, but Hamilton hasn't, he hasn't looked as aggressive as Russell did when he was trying to get the move done on Magnussen. You can really see the contrasting styles of the drivers there. And I thought Stroll was leaving the door open for Hamilton there for a second, but Stroll was moving over onto the wet part of the track to cool down his tires. Hamilton didn't do that. But he wasn't faster. He wasn't faster. A lot of movement from Stroll onto the wet part of the track. 1.3 seconds now between Leclerc and Perez. Stroll really is trying to protect his tires. So yeah, Hamilton's tires look very, very smooth, I have to say. We haven't heard any team radio from Hamilton, but even if he did come on the team radio and started complaining about tires, well then you'd suspect he was going to win the race, because that's Hamilton code for things are going really, really well. Hammer time is coming up. They're showing us a little bit of on board with Leclerc there as well, so he can see Perez ahead of him. As you'd expect, it's only 1.3 seconds, 1.28 seconds if you want to be very, very exact. To be sure. Now, it's just not happening for Hamilton. Okay, so team radio, an interesting team radio actually. This is very helpful for us. They asked Max, if a safety car were to come out now, would you go on to the slick tires? And Max says yes, yes indeed. So there we are. We're just about there. We're at that moment where they can change over to slicks, and I suspect the reason they're not doing it is because they want to get into that pit window for a one-stopper on the hard tires. Stroll has suddenly gotten much closer to Tsunoda. Here's Ricciardo. Now, here's my prediction. Ricciardo onto the yellow tires. Those are the medium tires, actually, not the hard tires. So he's going to be the first one now to test this out. Here we go. A race-winning move from Daniel Ricciardo. Probably not, but that would be good. He does like winning in Italy, after all. Alrighty, yeah, we're back to the battle here between Tsunoda, Hamilton and Stroll, of course in the completely wrong order, and Ocon is now in that battle as well, so Hamilton is going to be under a bit of pressure here from Ocon, unless he gets the move done on on Stroll, the other Stroll, I was going to say the other ST. Alright, Hamilton team radio. Hamilton says too early to switch to dries, so he's second guessing you, Daniel Ricciardo. Let's see what you can do. I'm going to keep an eye on the lap times here for Ricciardo. A very fast sector 2, 30 seconds. It's way faster than everyone else. Way faster. It's a second faster basically than the leaders. So he's already picking up a bit here. Let's see what he can manage to do for sector 3 when he comes around. 31.377. Yeah, fastest sector 3 as well. It's not dramatically faster. It's actually not faster than Verstappen last time around, so that is fascinating. Perez is in. Oh yeah, Perez is in, so they're playing the game here. What are Ferrari going to do? Are they going to respond to Perez, or will they try to respond to Verstappen? Who are they racing? I think they're racing Perez at the moment, to be honest, and it's medium tires for Perez. Medium tires on lap 19, so those tires won't go to the end, so I think everybody's expecting some more rain here. Haas crew are out apparently, so we should see Magnussen in. Russell is in, Bottas is in, Magnussen is in. Yeah, it's all happening now. Gamble time, and Alpine are coming out onto the pit as well, so that's for Stroll. No, not Stroll. What's he called? Esteban Ocon. He won a race last year. Didn't you know? Hamilton pitted? Yeah, Hamilton pitted. Okay, all the pits are happening now. Verstappen and Leclerc haven't pitted yet. Norris hasn't pitted either, but Perez has pitted. Fastest second sector from Ricciardo. Fastest lap for Ricciardo. There you go. It's the right time. It's the right time. And Hamilton has lost out to Ocon here in the pits. And he's lost out to Tsunoda as well. Oh, Hamilton has dropped behind them all. This is very bad for Hamilton. He's down to 13th. He's behind Gasly, Ocon, Stroll, Tsunoda. So Gasly hasn't pitted yet. No, Gasly has pitted. Gasly pitted and he's overtaken Hamilton. So that's the powerful undercut. Leclerc has just pitted. I think Leclerc is in trouble here. Let's see where he comes back out. Verstappen hasn't pitted, has he? Verstappen did pit, yeah. Verstappen is back out. Leclerc is back out as well. And here comes Perez. So Leclerc is ahead of Perez, but Perez now has been running on these tires a little bit longer, so he has warmer tires. Let's see. Well, yeah, he's all over the back of Leclerc now. Ocon and Hamilton will be investigated. Unsafe release in the pits. Perez gets past Leclerc. So those warmer tires really working out here for Perez. Okay, look, we're back to as you were before the pit stops basically, and Leclerc is very, very close to Perez if you want to look at it that way. Fastest lap now again for Ricciardo. Ricciardo is making big ground here. Looks like the gamble worked for him. Alright, so it was Hamilton in, pitted, off he goes, he gets his tires changed. That's fine, all good. Yeah, oh yes, it's the Alpine was the unsafe release. So the Alpine nearly crashed into Hamilton as he came out of his pit box. They should have held him there, and Tsunoda came out just in front of them as well, but that didn't look unsafe. That looked perfectly timed. Now, what happened to Bottas here? No, it's Joe. Nothing, it just looked like a slow pit stop. Alex Albon gets past Hamilton. Ooh, Hamilton is down to 14th. What's happening to Hamilton, guys? Schumacher is in 17th. Can we see the tires, please? Everybody's on medium tires. Everybody running now on medium, so everybody is pitted. Fastest lap here for Valtteri Bottas. He's coming for you, George Russell. He's coming for you. Well, he's 9 seconds behind you, so maybe not. Leclerc now is 1.9 seconds behind Perez. So that gap went to about 2.5 seconds due to the warmer tires, I guess, that Perez had. So he's clawed back a little bit of time on him now, and it really is as you were. It really is. Okay, Perez 7 seconds behind his teammate. Norris, he's solidly in 4th place. He's 10 seconds behind Leclerc. Leclerc is 4/10 of a second now behind Perez. How did he manage to close him down so much? Perez must have made a mistake here. Little bits of rip-offs flying across the circuit as well. A lot of spray out there, so you can understand it, I guess. And now Leclerc is coming down behind Perez. He's very close to him here. 0.3 of a second. Is he going to try and get the move done? Not yet. Not just yet. And is DRS going to be activated soon, since everybody's running on the dry, wetter tires now? Or did they still consider the track to be a bit too wet for that? Christian Horner is on the radio to the Sky Sports guys, talking about how dark the sky is, so they think there's a chance of some more rain. It would be great, you know, for entertainment purposes here. It would enforce a few more pit stops. Let's do a rundown then of where we're at. So Joe is in 18th and last place, Mick Schumacher in 17th, Latifi 16th, Ricciardo 15th. He's 0.9 of a second behind 14th placed Hamilton. 13th is Gasly, who in turn is only 0.8 of a second ahead of Hamilton. And then we have Albon in 12th, who himself finds himself just 1 second ahead of Gasly. Albon is 0.6 of a second behind Ocon in 11th. Ocon is 0.7 of a second behind Stroll in 10th. And Stroll is 0.7 of a second behind Tsunoda in 9th. So there's a real train going on there, a lot of action. They're not showing it to us at the moment because Leclerc is going to try and get past Perez here. He's right in his slipstream. Is he going to pull off the move? No, he's not going to do it. Not this time around either. And so he's losing time now to Verstappen. So it's 8 seconds between Perez and Verstappen. This battle is not helping Leclerc. He needs to get the move done ASAP. He needs to get it done very, very soon, or he's going to lose more time to Verstappen. Now, where did I finish? Tsunoda then is in 9th place, and he's more or less at the head of the train at the moment because he has a 4-second gap up the road to Kevin Magnussen. In 8th place, Magnussen is 4.9 seconds behind Vettel, who's in 7th. Vettel 1.6 seconds to Bottas in 6th. Bottas then has 11.8 seconds gap up to Russell in 5th place. Russell 5.9 seconds gap up to Norris in 4th. Norris then has a 10.9, so basically 11 second gap up to Leclerc, and Leclerc is 0.6 of a second behind Perez in second. Perez 8 seconds behind his teammate Verstappen, who leads the race and has done from the very, very start. Very consistent race here from Verstappen so far. And just as I say it, fastest lap for Max Verstappen. And Perez actually has the fastest Sector 1 and Sector 2, as you can see here on the screen with the pink highlights. And it's... oh, Perez has just set the fastest lap. Yeah, I was about to say, that seems strange. As we say that, Verstappen has just set the fastest first sector, so both of the Red Bulls are flying it at the moment. It's out to 1 second gap now between Perez and Leclerc, so he's pulling away from Leclerc slightly. Some great speed here for both of the Red Bulls. Suddenly out of nowhere, they just seem to have gained. I don't know if the tires have come to life, if the track has dried out a little bit more, if they've changed their engine modes. They don't tell us these things. Now, Russell's pit stop. What was unusual about this? Okay. Okay, so they didn't do the aero adjustment that they needed to do on his car. That's what they're telling him. He's going to have a lot of understeer according to Nico Rosberg. Words of wisdom from former world champion Nico Rosberg, 2016. Verstappen has now just set the fastest lap, and Perez has set the fastest lap again. So no sooner has he set the fastest lap than Perez takes it back, and Leclerc has just set the fastest third sector, so maybe he wants to get in on the action as well. So that's 2 laps in a row now. We've seen Verstappen set the fastest lap for Perez to immediately take that fastest lap away from him. So they're going really well, both of the Red Bulls at the moment. Now, Hamilton has been making some progress, actually. He's in 14th, and he is 0.5 of a second now behind Gasly, so he's going to try and get the move done on Gasly. He hasn't been super convincing on the overtakes at all. Not convincing in the slightest. I don't know what he can do here. Not sure what he can do. Green flag. So Schumacher went off the circuit there. Something happened with Schumacher. Miserable race for Schumacher. Really bad. He's another driver that I really want to see him bounce back a bit. See what he can do against Magnussen, and it's not going well. Not going well at all. We're on board. Oh, here's the replay now. What happened to Schumacher? He just overran it. Went on the grass, spun the car around as he came back onto the circuit. He had no traction on those tires whatsoever. Very, very wet from going through the grass. So he ran straight through the chicane, basically. Just ran a little bit too deep. He was trying to get past Latifi, I think. So he's now lost a position to Guan Yu Zhu as well. So he's down into last place, Schumacher. Hamilton, yeah. We're watching this battle between himself and Gasly, but he's not getting the move done. Ricard. Oh, here's the move. It's Stroll and Tsunoda. Stroll trying to get past Tsunoda. No, he can't get the move done. They were side by side there for a second. This is the big battle now, all of these cars. There's a great train of cars here behind Tsunoda. And Stroll is trying to break away. Trying to get away. He's going to try it around the outside. No, that's not going to work. He pulls out of it, thankfully, because that was an accident. It had an accident written all over it if he kept going with that one. Now, what can Ocon do? He's now going to try and get past Stroll, so Stroll isn't going to be helped by this. And it looks like Alex Albon is all over the back of Ocon as well. So Albon is doing very well at the moment. Lovely on board here. This is not on board. This is the in-helmet camera display for Ocon. You can see his steering wheel. You can see everything on the steering wheel. Interestingly, in Formula E, when we get this camera angle, they usually blur out what's happening on the steering wheel. We can see it all here, but not for long because they've cut away from it. He was busy though. He was going through the corners, making adjustments. Now here's a replay of Stroll trying to get past That was dangerous for Stroll because he had to run wide onto the wet part of the track. A lot of spray came up. He managed to keep enough traction in the tires, though. He didn't go off track or anything, and he kept his place behind Tsunoda. Alrighty, 28 laps gone, so we're coming up to halfway point. There's been a lot of action in this race so far. There has been a lot of action. Perez has pulled away from Leclerc a little bit. It's 1.477 seconds now between them, and Perez is 6.7 seconds behind his teammate. So it's been pretty stable there between 7 to 8 seconds gap. So he has closed it ever so slightly. Fastest lap is with Verstappen. Verstappen has just set the fastest lap again, so is Perez going to spring back here and set another fastest lap? Nope, not this time around. Okay, Leclerc sets the fastest third sector again, so there's definitely speed there in that car. Very solid from Norris as well in fourth place. Not a lot going on for him. He's not really in the mix. And we're now looking at the other McLaren. This is Ricciardo. So Ricciardo now is in 15th place, and he's closing in onto the back of Lewis Hamilton, of all people. Of all people. Russell is in 5th, by the way. Hamilton is languishing in 14th place. I don't know what's going on with Lewis Hamilton here, but I thought he'd do a little bit better than this, but he seems to be going backwards at the moment. He hasn't been able to get the move done on Gasly. He's still about 0.5 of a second, so half a second behind Gasly, but he's just not getting the move done. Not getting the move. We've had no notification about DRS either. I suspect that's a part of the factor, but it doesn't matter because Gasly is going to have DRS as well. Now Leclerc is 0.3 of a second behind Perez. That came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere. Did he set the fastest lap? No. Perez must have made a mistake. No. And Leclerc doesn't even try the move. He doesn't try the move. That Red Bull is obviously very fast. Perez must have made a mistake. That's the only conclusion I can come to here. Black and white flag for Mick Schumacher. Track limits. I don't think that's going to bother him too much. He's 8 seconds now behind Guan Yu Zhou. Oh, Perez. Yeah, Perez took the Mick Schumacher shortcut over the chicane, across the grass, and he doesn't spin the car, thankfully, but that's why Leclerc was so close to the back of Perez. It explains a lot. 1.1 seconds now between them, so Perez has gotten away from Leclerc. The gap between Perez and Verstappen now is 9.5 seconds, so comfortable for Verstappen. Of course, reliability, that is the big question about Verstappen's car, and Perez's to an extent, I guess. Perez has been slightly luckier than Verstappen, it would appear, on the old reliability front. Now, what's going on in the big battles down the field? Not a lot until you get down to Tsunoda in 9th, and even now Tsunoda has managed to gap Stroll by 2 seconds, so Tsunoda is out of danger for the time being. Stroll is, as I said, he's in 10th, he's 2 seconds behind Tsunoda, and he has Ocon then 1 second, it fluctuates between 1 second and 0.9 of a second behind him. No DRS yet, so it doesn't matter that much. Albon is 0.7 of a second behind Ocon. Gasly is 1.2 seconds behind Albon. He's in 13th, and then we have Hamilton in 14th, 0.5 of a second behind Gasly. But he's just not getting the moves done. He's not getting the move done at all. We're looking at Verstappen here, and it looks like he's just lapped Guan Yu Zhou. Oh jeez, if I'm saying that wrong. Oh, that sky looks very grey. I'm Irish, so I'd know a lot about grey skies and rain, and it looks like rain to me, I have to say. Yeah, on board with Lewis Hamilton, but you know, as close as he is to Gasly, it's not working out for him. Not at the moment. Dramatically, he's in 14th. He's quite far outside of the points at the moment. Hamilton needs to get a move on here. Russell is in 5th, and he's 6 seconds behind Norris, who's in 4th. And then Bottas is 12 seconds behind Russell, so there's not a lot happening up around there on the racetrack. Now, can Hamilton get something done here? He doesn't, but he has a look, at least for once. Hard tires there for Ricciardo, so that as long as it doesn't rain, that should be Ricciardo done for the race. He's gambling. Puts him in last place now, but he's the only guy that has pitted twice. So if you're just joining us, Ricciardo had a very bad start to the race. Let's say he made contact with the back of Carlos Sainz's Ferrari, spun them both around to an extent. They both went off into the gravel trap. Ricciardo managed to keep his car going and survived, but Sainz is out of the race. It pains me to say. It does. Now, Henrique's 11.94. Verstappen, go. Well, you'll be very happy at the moment. He is way out in the lead. He has 10.6 seconds gap on his teammate who's in second. And by the fact, with Perez in second, almost provides him with buffer as well. Leclerc then 1.9 seconds behind Perez. And more good news, Verstappen has just set the fastest lap of the race. There you go. So he's pumping in the lap times at the moment. Doesn't look like Perez is going to hit back either. I don't see any fastest sectors for Perez on the screen right now. This will be a very good haul-up points for Verstappen if it finishes like this. Very good, because Leclerc won't be in second, he'll be in third, so he'll be able to gain a few points back. Long way to go still, long way to go in the season, but this is exactly what he needs at this moment in time. Like it stays like that. A lot of on board here with Lewis Hamilton. It looks like a challenging drive out there. I just don't see him getting close enough to Gasly here to get the move done. Now he is 0.4 of a second behind Gasly, so he is pretty damn close. But it just doesn't look like he's going to be able to get this bit of correction there. So there are slippy parts on the track still, especially when you go over the curves. Now down to start finish straight. Let's see what Hamilton can do. Is he closing in a little bit? No. Oh my god, his head is bouncing so much. It looks like this porpoising is really hurting the McLaren, the Mercedes. As we know, and we know this is their issue. Hamilton, yeah, he tried around the outside just there, but that's not working. I think down the straight is going to be very challenging for him because of the amount of bouncing that car is doing. It looked very violent there. Very violent indeed. Yeah, the commentary team here making a very good point. Russell did not get the move done at Magnussen on the start-finish straight. It was actually as we were coming up into the penultimate chicane of the race, and maybe that's what Hamilton needs to start thinking about as well, because this Mercedes is under severe duress on the straight. It's as I said, bumping violently on the straight with the speed. Now 10.9 seconds for Verstappen to Perez. Where are all the battles at the moment? Hamilton and Gasly. That's the main battle that we have right now. Everybody else has the gap of over a second. DRS has been enabled. Ladies and gentlemen, DRS is a go-go. This will change things up. Hamilton again, not with DRS, but looking very racy there to try and get the move done on Gasly. Doesn't get it done though. Now, will DRS should do the job for him. I would speculate. We're going to find out the next time they come around to the start-finish straight. Or is this bouncing on the straight just going to hurt the Mercedes too much? I don't know why I keep calling the Mercedes McLaren. I think I'm just so used to saying McLaren Mercedes back from the 90s, stuck in my brain for some reason. Mika Hakkinen versus Michael Schumacher. Those were the days. To be honest, I don't miss those days too much. I think we had a very, very good battle on our hands, especially last season and this season. Great battles so far. But it doesn't look like Leclerc will be fighting Verstappen today, unless something happens with the weather. Now, Gasly and Hamilton. Now Hamilton down the pit straight. The home straight. Gasly has DRS as well. He's closed up enough on Albon that he has DRS. So Gasly is 0.5 of a second behind Albon. So this is once again another spanner in the works for Lewis Hamilton here. He's not able to get this move done at all. Now, what else is happening here? You know, Gasly looks probably more likely to get past Albon now. Let's not preempt it. We'll watch how this one plays out. Leclerc 2.2 seconds behind Perez. So he's not closing that gap at the moment. Any other action out there? Not really. Ricciardo is 9.8 seconds behind Schumacher after taking his second pit stop. He doesn't quite have the speed. The rear end camera for the AlphaTauri and Hamilton closing in. Yeah, he's not able to get it done at the moment. Now, start finish straight again. DRS. Hamilton looks very close here. He looks very, very close. He won't be able to get that move done. And I tell you, if Gasly didn't have DRS on Albon, then Hamilton definitely would be getting that move done. So the DRS that Gasly has is just about helping him here. Just about doing the trick for him. Now Gasly does suddenly look very close to Albon again. So it all comes down to the different styles of the cars and the different places on the track, I guess. Alright, let's do a rundown again. So Ricciardo is in 18th, Schumacher 17th, Zhou 16th, Latifi 15th, Hamilton 14th. Still not used to saying this. Gasly 13th, Albon 12th, Ocon 11th, Stroll 10th, Tsunoda 9th, Magnussen 8th, Vettel 7th, Bottas 6th, Russell in 5th, Norris in 4th, Leclerc only in 3rd, Perez 2nd, and Verstappen is your race leader, and he's just set the fastest 3rd sector again, so he could be going for fastest lap again. Probably not. He does hold fastest lap at the moment, so let's not worry too much about that one. Hamilton really did not get too close to Gasly that time with DRS. Not close enough, actually. It was Gasly that really closed in on Albon yet again. Mm-hmm. 38 laps gone here. So we're almost at the 2/3 point of this race. We haven't had action for a while now. We have not had action. If I was watching this on my couch now, I would consider having a lap at this moment in time. Come on, Hamilton, you need to get the move done. Keep me awake. Oof. Here comes Max Verstappen behind Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen is going to lap Lewis Hamilton. Oh, he will not like that. Well, it depends who we're talking about. Verstappen will love it. Hamilton won't like it at all. What's the gap? What's the gap? Yeah, this is not going to help us too much because we then lose the gaps. Well, we lose the gaps to the leaders on the tracking once they get lapped. It just tells us how many laps behind they are. Little bit to go yet before Verstappen does catch Hamilton, so it's not coming up this lap, I guess. But Hamilton will be seeing the blue flag very, very soon. As will Gasly, as will Albon. And maybe that's exactly what Hamilton needs. Maybe the blue flags can unsettle Gasly enough for him to get through. Now, I said that Verstappen was not catched on this lap. He is actually closing them in very, very fast here. Very fast. What are the lap times like? 1:22, oh, it's 2 seconds faster than Hamilton right now. So it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Here comes Max. Super Max. Not there yet though. This says a lot about this this part of the race that the most excitement I'm having is watching Verstappen close in on a back marker. Hamilton is just not able to get this move done on Gasly at all. He's struggled behind him for a long time, in the same way that he struggled behind Stroll before the first set of pit stops. We haven't heard anything about the investigation into Ocon, by the way, for the unsafe release in the pits. Just sparked a memory there. But nope, nothing that we're aware of. A lot of grey clouds in the sky. It looks a little bit brighter though. And we'll give it that much at least.
There was something we were fighting about. Can't remember it, can't recall.
And let's turn the lens on Gasly a little bit here. Gasly still hasn't been able to get the move done on Albon. Now, he hasn't had as many laps to get a move done as Hamilton has on Gasly, but he would need to start thinking about getting this done very, very soon. And yeah, they're going to be broken up big time now, because here comes Verstappen and the blue flags have been waved. The blue flags for Hamilton, Gasly, Albon. They need to let him through.
I just want to be with you.
Now Verstappen is right up behind Hamilton. Got to let him through. Hamilton is not letting him through. He's not pulling over at the moment. He's got it. Hamilton probably doesn't know how to pull over to let a car through. When's the last time Hamilton got a blue flag? Oof. Verstappen goes through. And that's Hamilton's battle with Gasly destroyed for the time being, because Verstappen's in between them, and Gasly... he has 1.1 seconds out. Gasly is going to be overtaken here as well. Gasly will get out of the way very, very fast. Sister team to the Red Bull, of course. Yep, there goes Verstappen, and actually it's brought Hamilton right back into play here, because Gasly had to slow down a little bit too much there. So now Hamilton, here's your chance. As I said, this could work out very, very well for Lewis Hamilton. Well, in terms of battling for 13th place, if you class that as going well. Now Albon has pulled out a little bit of a gap from Gasly. So can Gasly get the DRS off Max Verstappen? This is going to be the crucial part here, because if he doesn't, then this will be the first attempt that Hamilton has had with just him having DRS on Gasly. Here we go, start finish straight. Yeah, Gasly's DRS opens up, so he does have it. And Verstappen is through on Albon. No, Hamilton not getting that move done there, but Gasly did have DRS. Now, Gasly is back on the tail of Albon as well, so this three-way battle recommences after a brief introduction, or a brief interruption, not introduction, interruption from Max Verstappen, and off Max goes. Off he goes into the distance. Alrighty, let's have a look at the gaps. Perez 11.7 seconds behind Verstappen. So Perez actually in the, I guess in 5 to 10 laps time will be coming up behind Hamilton as well. Because he's on a very similar speed to Verstappen, which is about 2 seconds faster than Hamilton. Who else? Leclerc 2.3 seconds behind Perez. It's been pretty static around 2 seconds for quite a while now. And Norris then is 23 seconds behind Leclerc, so Norris well and truly out of the mix for the top three, unless something dramatic or horrendous happens, and we're all hoping that doesn't happen. If a safety car does come out for whatever reason, though, it does bunch them all back up together, and that could be where the action is at. We do know that safety cars can settle races. We've seen it a couple of times. Not naming any races. Not naming any races at all. Rightio. We have Russell then 7 seconds behind Norris. He hasn't really closed that gap too much on Norris. He's in 5th place, of course. Bottas is 7 seconds behind Russell as well, and he's in 6th place. We have Vettel in 7th, then he's 16 seconds behind Bottas. And Magnussen is in 8th, 1.8 seconds behind Vettel. And Tsunoda 9th, 1.3 seconds behind Magnussen. And then rounding out the top 10, we have Lance Stroll, and he's 9.7 seconds behind Tsunoda, with Ocon in 11th, 1.1 seconds, 1.2 seconds now, just behind Stroll. Then in 12th we have Albon, 13th Gasly, 14th Hamilton, 15th Joe, 16th Latifi, 17th Schumacher, and 18th Ricciardo. Ricciardo still 16 seconds behind Schumacher. He's not been able to do anything with those hard tires. This is disappointing. Now, anything that Hamilton can do here to get past Gasly? I suspect not. No, he does not get the move done. So, still struggling. Gasly, it's Gasly now who should be really looking to get the move done on Albon, because Albon does not have DRS as it stands at the moment. He's 1.2 seconds behind Ocon. Gasly, this is your time. Plan D, how does it look? This was Leclerc team radio, and they said not good, stay till the end. So are they staying on medium tires until the end of the race, perhaps? Something just flew off Nicholas Latifi's car. Oh, it's a nut off the tire, and it's bounced back onto the track. Ooh, just got run over there by one of the Haas drivers. I assume that was Schumacher. Didn't go flying, but that makes me very nervous. That's almost like when the piece of debris came off Rubens Barrichello's car in the Hungaroring all those years ago, and it struck Felipe Massa. We certainly don't want a repeat of that. That was horrific. Now, Hamilton does look very close here around the outside. No, he just can't get it done. I thought that was the one. I finally weathered Gasly to get the move done, but he doesn't. He might try around the outside here again. It's not going to work there. It's just not going to work for him. But Schumacher, oh my goodness. How dare I call Schumacher, or call Hamilton Schumacher, and vice versa. Hamilton definitely looks like he's much more interested now. He's fed up. He wants to get this move done. He's all over the gearbox of Gasly. He has not relented at all for this lap. Here we go. Let's see if he can get this done. No, he's not letting him go. He's basically Gasly's shadow at the moment. He's that close to him. He goes through the chicanes very nicely there, very straight, very fast. Suddenly, Hamilton looks like he has a little bit of speed, through the DRS detection zone there. Be coming around. Here's the final set of corners before we go onto the start finish straight. Oh, he's really close here. He's really close. DRS wide open for both of them. But Hamilton is so close now. He's going to try around the outside again. And no, it's not working. It's not working. Actually, it turned into Gasly almost pulling a move down the inside of Albon. But here Hamilton has another chance here because Gasly did not get a good exit out of that corner. He was in the wrong position. Oh, look at those clouds. They are very dark now. Very dark. We could have more rain before the end of this race. We really could. This is looking ominous. Who's the driver of the day so far? Driver of the day. Well, it's got to be Max Verstappen, I suppose. You know, some other guys have had a very good race. Vettel is doing very well. Bottas is doing well, Russell is doing well, Norris is doing well, but it's Verstappen. He's been supreme. He's been very good this race. Got to be him. There really aren't any other picks for driver of the day as it stands at the moment. Now, any action anywhere else on the track? Tsunoda is going to try and get past Kevin Magnussen here. He's 0.4 of a second behind him. Now, ooh, losing my voice. Now we're back on board here with Hamilton trying to get past Gasly. No, still no. It's still no. 222 says, damn, Max sure doesn't screw around. One of the best race drivers that you can find on Earth. Well, he is the current world champion, whether or not some people want to admit it or not. He is the world champion, and he's very talented. He is very talented. 12 and a half seconds now ahead of his teammate. That's a pretty good performance because they're driving in the same car, and apparently this car suits Perez a little bit better this year. That's what we're hearing. Just the way it moves around is more in tune with Perez's style, but doesn't matter. You could give a tractor to Max Verstappen and he would be driving the wheels off it. He's impressive. 3 seconds now between Perez and Leclerc. So Leclerc doesn't look like he's going to be closing in on Perez anytime soon, unless he's just waiting until we come towards the end of the race. Now 48 laps gone, by the way, so we're close enough to the end. That will give us a grand total of 15 laps left. 15. Tsunoda, oh, I just missed an overtake. I can't believe it. There was a bit of action and I missed it. Tsunoda gets the move done on Magnussen. So that puts him up into 8th place. Magnussen is now down into 9th. Oh, come on, show me a replay of this. I've been starved for a little bit of overtaking action. On board here with Tsunoda, he has DRS open. Easy enough move, yeah. He goes around the outside. Team radio. Good job, they tell him. Yeah, he's happy. Finally, an overtake. And it's an AlphaTauri during the overtaking. We could really do with Gasly overtaking Albon as well, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And Hamilton, will he get past Gasly? This is some battle. It's been going on for quite a while now. It really has. This is like classic Formula 1, where you wait the entire race for one single move and it may or may not come off. Now, it's not that bad. Come on, it's not that bad. But here comes Perez, by the way. Perez is just coming up behind Hamilton now, so we're going to have more blue flag dramatics. And that can kind of mix things up a little bit as well. Hamilton looks very close now. Will he pull out to the outside again and try and get this move done? He does pull to the outside, but he's nowhere to go there. The problem he has is if he keeps going down the outside, he had Albon there to block his way. So not working too well for him right now. Right. What else is happening here? Not a lot. Ricciardo is the only car on track at the moment with hard tires, and it has not worked well for him, not at all. And it sounds like everybody is waiting to go to the end of the race on these medium tires, so maybe they start to drop off a little bit. And oh, there's Carlos Sainz. Sorry for your troubles, Carlos. So maybe the tires can come into play a little bit for Ricciardo towards the end of the race, but he has no chance of finishing in the points at the moment, I would say. On board, here's the helmet cam now for Leclerc. It's a nice shot, yeah, and once again you can see the entire steering wheel, dashboard, everything on there. Really nice shot of the fans. Let's have a look. Okay, comments. Earl is saying, well, Perez guards Verstappen's position so Ferrari can't catch up. Just saying, P1 and P2 for Red Bull today. That's how it's looking at the moment. Leclerc's into the pits. He's into the pits, so soft tires? Must be soft tires, surely. Yeah, soft tires, here we go. Race on. Well, maybe not, but he surely can set some very fast laps with these. Will Perez respond to this? That's the question. Perez, I completely agree, Earl. Perez has done a great job. He's been that buffer to Verstappen. He's allowed Verstappen to get away. But Perez has been no slouch, though. He's been no slouch whatsoever. Norris gets past Leclerc. That's unfortunate for Leclerc. Now, I think he won't have too much bother getting back past the McLaren, but I think he'd obviously have rather to stay behind the McLaren or to stay in front of the McLaren rather than have to do another overtaking maneuver, which will just slow him down a little bit more. So yeah, Perez has been a very good buffer for Verstappen, but Perez has been no slouch today. He's been quite fast. Apart from that mistake he made where he drove over the chicane, that was really the only opportunity that Leclerc got on him, and it's surprising. So that Red Bull looks very well set up for this race today. Very well set up indeed. Now here's Red Bull out, soft tires. It's going to be Perez, isn't it? Yeah, it's Perez. Perez is in, so he's responding to what Leclerc has done here. He has to respond, I suppose. Otherwise, the danger is there that Leclerc gets him. So it's like for like, and it should be as you were again, providing nothing goes wrong here for Perez. But just means Verstappen now has a huge lead, absolutely huge, 42 seconds as it stands at the moment. Leclerc now getting the move done on Norris. That's very easy for him, very, very easy. That red rubber is going to help out the red Ferrari. Brilliant. He's got that move done. Let's have a look at the times then. He's 1.6 seconds now behind Perez. Perez needs to get his tires up to speed really fast. Verstappen's coming in. Okay, Verstappen has asked for the red tires as well, so these are the soft tires. He wants to do the exact same thing. He's not taking any chances. Going into the pits is somewhat taking a chance, but this is great. So this makes it now a two-stopper race, and I think everybody else further down the field is going to be looking at this as well. Hamilton 0.6 of a second behind Gasly at the moment, not getting the move done still. I thought I'd just look at the timing screen and notice that Hamilton had gotten past, but no, it hasn't happened. It has not happened. There's Verstappen back out now, so let's see what the gap is. 38 seconds? That can't be right. 15 seconds, that's more like it. That's more like it. Fastest lap Leclerc. 0.6 of a second now behind Perez. Oh, Leclerc says he thinks they should have gone for the medium tires. Well, I don't know. I don't think it matters too much because Red Bull are also on the soft tires. We did see worse degradation yesterday for the Ferrari, that is true, and he did pit one lap earlier than Perez, but let's see. Fastest lap though for Leclerc. This is his opportunity. I think if he doesn't get past Perez now, he's never getting past Perez because Perez's tires will heat up as well. 0.8 of a second right now. Does look like Perez is ever so slightly pulling away. So this has to be it. This has to be the time where Leclerc gets it done. 5/10 of a second, yeah. What can Leclerc do here? Coming around the final set of corners before the start finish straight. Oh, can Leclerc get the move done here? He doesn't look close enough. They have DRS though. That's him closing in. Oh, there won't be enough. There won't be enough circuit left for him to catch him. Not quite enough. It's 5/10 of a second now. He can't let Perez go here. He needs these are crucial and critical championship points now. And of course, if he gets past Perez and we have a sudden safety car before the end of the race as well, it puts him right on Verstappen's tail. So he's every incentive in the world here to get past Perez. What is our gap right now? They're not showing us the gap. It's just over 1 second. He's going to lose DRS. He's going to lose DRS. Keep an eye on that. 1.06, so just over 1 second. Oh no! Leclerc has spun the car. He's hit the barrier. He's back on the circuit. Norris is in third place. Has he damaged the car though? He's hit the wall. Back on board here with Leclerc. Let's see how he's steering. It looks like he's broken the suspension. He's in the pits. He's in the pits. Whoa, this is huge for the championship. Absolutely huge. A mistake from Leclerc. He was pushing too hard to try and get past Perez. Changing his front wing. Did they change his tires again? Yeah, they put on new soft tires again. 8.8 seconds pit stop. Where's he coming back out? Behind Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda has just gotten past Vettel. It's all happening now. I can't believe Leclerc just spun the car and hit the wall. Oh, a mistake from Leclerc. I can't believe it. Let's see a replay of this. Just looked like he was pushing a little bit too hard. That gap, as I was saying, was just over 1 second. He wanted to get back into DRS range. There we go. He's going. Oh, he made huge contact with the curb. He just took way too much curb there and completely lost traction. And his tires were absolutely flat spotted there as well. Over the curb, here he goes now. Did he take a lot of damage here when he hit the wall? Scrubbed off a lot of speed. Oh, he might have just gotten away with that. Well, he's definitely lost his positions, but he might have just gotten away with damaging the car. He has the fastest lap at the moment. .7 seconds behind Magnussen. Magnussen now has gotten past Leclerc as well. Hamilton is still behind Gasly in 14th. I don't know what to say about that. 2 says, I like Imola. It's a really good track. I love Imola. It's a great track. It's a classic Formula 1 track. And as you can see, it's very unforgiving as well. Both of the Ferraris have demonstrated that for us. Leclerc gets too much on top of the curbs, and there he goes spinning off. And then of course Sainz stuck in the gravel trap. You don't see that happen at a lot of tracks anymore. Stuck in the gravel. That's like a flashback to the 90s. Hamilton once again trying to get past Gasly. He's not getting it done. He's just not getting the move done. There's nothing else I can say about this. It's been very, very disappointing. Here we are, helmet cam now for Leclerc. Is Magnussen ahead, team radio? He's saying the car doesn't feel great. Don't know if he has damage to the suspension or not. Now, can he get past Magnussen? That will be his next move.
There's a party down
Very close to Magnussen here. He's going to have DRS coming down the start-finish straight. DRS is open. This should be easy enough. He's right on his tail. Going to try around the outside, which turns into the inside actually as we come down the straight. Yeah, he got that move done early. So Leclerc is up into 8th place. Scant consolation, I would say, for what did happen. He was pushing too hard. It's a wet circuit. He got too much up onto the curb. Oh, it's good for the championship. If we're going to look for positives. But yeah, so we've been deprived now of the battle between Perez and Leclerc, courtesy of that. Norris is in 3rd place, by the way, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, Lando Norris is in 3rd place. Going for the win? Probably not going for the win, but going for the podium. 12 seconds behind Perez. Russell is in 4th. He's 6.4 seconds behind Norris, so he probably won't close in on him. We have 6 laps to go, by the way. Now, Bottas is closing up on Russell, believe it or not. Role reversal of last year. Last year it was the Williams closing up on the Mercedes. This year it's the Alfa Romeo closing up on the Mercedes. But the role reversal, of course, is this time it's Bottas closing on Russell as opposed to Russell closing on Bottas last year. Now we all know how that finished last year with a huge crash that they had. Very dramatic looking. Let's hope that doesn't happen here again. If it does though, if there's any kind of a crash, we have a safety car. And it's not going to mean much. Verstappen's still going to win the race because there's no way Perez is going to overtake Verstappen. Maybe Norris has a shot at them. He won't be able to maintain it. He's on medium tyres. Hamilton's still in 14th. Can't. Gasly has been so good to hold off Hamilton for this long. Now, what's the gap here? It's 9/10 of a second between Russell and Bottas. So Bottas really is closing in on him. He'll have a bit of DRS here on the start-finish straight. Yeah, he's using that and he's closing in more. Won't get past him here. 6/10 of a second, 4/10 of a second now. Yeah, DRS has helped him huge amount there. Really has helped him out. There's team principal Vasseur from Alfa Romeo watching on. Bottas team radio. 6 laps to go. Just telling him he has 6 laps to go. It's less than 6 laps at this stage. Now, next time around, he's going to have a go at Russell. I can feel it. If ever there was an incentive for Bottas, it has to be that McLaren. For Bottas to be outperforming the McLaren's. Perez radio. Not sure what they're talking about. Something about turn 7. Not sure what's going on there. Coming around to the final set of corners before we get onto the start finish straight. What's that gap? Yeah, he's got DRS. He's in DRS range. So he should be opening his DRS now. Yeah, he's opened it up. Closing, slowly closing. I don't think he's going to be able to get the move done here either. He's going to try around the outside. No, he decides otherwise. He thinks twice about that one. Now, they're very, very close. It's 4/10 of a second at the moment. That's where the action is. Further down the field, we have Gasly 4/10 of a second. Oh, look here. Here's Leclerc. Leclerc gets the move done with DRS. He's past Vettel and he's up into 7th place. So Vettel drops down into 8th, which is, of course, where he was before Leclerc had his incident. So Leclerc is slowly but surely making his way back through the field. Will he be able to catch Yuki Tsunoda? That's the next question. Yuki Tsunoda is 3.8 seconds away from him, and Tsunoda then is 19 seconds behind Bottas. So Tsunoda will be the last that Leclerc is able to overtake, if he is able to overtake Tsunoda, that is. Now, George Russell radio. Light rain for the last 2 laps. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. We're almost on the last 2 laps as it is at the moment. There are only 3 left. We're on lap 60 of 63. You can argue 3.5 laps. All right. Who has that? Verstappen has the fastest lap, by the way. Leclerc has just set the fastest first sector. So even though the car isn't running so well for him, he still has some speed in it. Will he try to wrestle the fastest lap from Verstappen? And I tell you, I think Verstappen will fire straight back if he does. Norris, there he is now, running in 3rd place. Ricciardo, meanwhile, runs in last place. Oh, it's been a bad race. Bad race for Daniel Ricciardo yet again. But there's Lando Norris. Possibly looking at 3rd place here with 3 laps to go. Russell is still holding off Bottas 0.6 of a second. Tracker on there, where are those 2 guys? Now, yeah, they're coming down the start-finish straight now. Will Bottas be able to get anything done here on Russell? Not at the moment, no. Not at the moment. They're very close. Not seeing it on my screen at the moment. I was actually just looking at the race tracker there. Oh yeah, now they're showing it to us. Yeah, Russell just doesn't give him any chance to get that move done. He makes his car as wide as possible and takes the middle of the chicane actually. Which yeah, is good. Get your elbows out type of racing. What happened to Bottas's nose? The front nose of his car is all black, like he touched a tire off somebody, but maybe that was earlier in the race and I just never noticed. 13.5 seconds between Verstappen and Perez. Norris then in 3rd place. Rightio. Okay, so it's Ricciardo 18th, Mick Schumacher in 17th, Latifi 16th, Joe 15th, Hamilton 14th, Gasly 13th, Albon 12th, Ocon 11th. Then in the points we have Stroll in 10th, Magnussen in 9th, Vettel in 8th, Leclerc in 7th, Tsunoda in 6th, Bottas is in 5th, Russell 4th, Norris 3rd, Perez 2nd, and Verstappen in 1st place. So both of the Aston Martins are in the points at the moment, and actually Stroll has a gap of 3 seconds, 3.4 seconds back to Ocon in 11th. So it's looking somewhat comfortable for him at the moment. There's Bottas trying to get past Russell again, can't get the move done. Verstappen saying he feels a few drops. We are basically 1.5 laps to go. Leclerc getting the move done on Tsunoda there. Yeah, he's gotten it done. Okay, well, I think that's the maximum recovery that Leclerc will be able to do. So he's up into 6th place. Don't see him going much better than that. We're on the final laps. That's the reason, and he's 16 seconds behind Bottas. So yeah, 6th is the best that Leclerc can hope for at the moment, unless somebody has a catastrophic final lap here. Bottas, yeah, this is his final chance now to get the move done on Russell. So this will be his second last time around on the start-finish straight. Of course, it's the final lap for Verstappen, not the final lap yet for Bottas and Russell. Because the start-finish line then the next time they come around will do away with any DRS advantage. There won't be enough track for him to get the move done. So it's now or never for Valtteri Bottas. DRS wide open. Can he close in? He's close, not close enough. Is he just going to go for it? He's going to try around the outside. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I think Russell will be able to hold him off here. There is a Haas who is also involved in this battle. I guess that must be Mick Schumacher on a different lap. Here comes Max Verstappen. He's coming around to win. This is a great result for Max Verstappen. He wins. Max Verstappen has won. So, reliability. He has finished the race and he's done the Grand Slam here, or the clean sweep, sprint race and feature race. Very good weekend for Max Verstappen. Very, very good weekend. Here's Perez for second place. And shortly we should have Norris coming around as well to claim third place. I'll believe it when I see it, as I always say. Now here comes Norris. He's a good bit back still. Coming around the final corner. Here he is now. Yeah, third place for Lando Norris. That's a great result considering where McLaren were at the first race of this season. Very, very good. Very good. Russell, yes, he gets it. He gets fourth. Bottas gets fifth. Leclerc will be coming around shortly to get only sixth place. Good haul of points. Fastest lap for Max Verstappen as well as it stands at the moment. We need Tsunoda. Tsunoda's finished in 7th. Yeah, Verstappen says it was a very lonely Sunday. He did not have a lot of action today. He was way out there on his own. Driver of the day for me for sure. Definitely driver of the day. Brilliant, brilliant race from Verstappen. Nobody was on the same level as Verstappen today. Nobody at all. Yeah, top 10 now confirmed. So it's Stroll in 10th, Magnussen 9th, Vettel in 8th, Tsunoda in 7th, Leclerc in 6th, Bottas 5th, Russell 4th, Norris 3rd, Perez 2nd, Verstappen in 1st place. There we go. Alrighty. I wonder what do the points look like at the moment. I don't know if I can get a hold of the championship standings right now. It would be great if I could. I'm going to attempt to see if I can get that. I will make my best attempt. They may not be updated yet. That's the issue that we're facing here. So Formula 1 standings. It looks like it's up to date. As it stands at the moment then, it will be Leclerc on 78 points leading the championship. Sainz is still... Oh, Norris getting very excited on the radio. Sainz is still in 2nd place on 38 points, so 14 points behind his teammate. Oh, yeah, okay. These are yesterday's standings. I got excited when I saw that the Italian points had been added. Those are the sprint race points. So we don't have the updated standing just yet. Not quite yet. I'm going to have a check on the Formula 1 Twitter. That's usually a good source for standings. Usually Formula 1. And nothing yet. It's been 2 hours since they posted anything. Come on, guys. You need to get your social media up and running. Up and running. Okay, so I'm not able to see the updated standings at the moment. I'll do a final gasp check on the Formula 1 website. Nope, no go. Leclerc is still leading the championship. We do know that at least. It's just how much of that lead has been eaten away here by Max Verstappen. That is the big question. I'm curious about that. I'm going to keep refreshing that page until they update it. Who knows? They might not update that until tonight. Yeah, it's not happening at the moment. Oh well. Yeah. Fantastic race for Red Bull. 1-2 for Red Bull, and they look very, very happy, as you can imagine. Alrighty, and not the most exciting race in the world. As we look down the order, of course, it's brilliant for Norris to get 3rd place. He didn't do a lot to get 3rd place apart from putting in a pretty solid, consistent race, but he wasn't racing with anybody per se. Russell had a bit of a battle towards the end with Bottas. He did very well to hold off Bottas, and he took 4th place, which was deserved for him. He's looked quite good this weekend, despite the challenges that they've had with the car. Bottas has been great again. Yeah, 5th place. Leclerc in 6th. That's very disappointing. Marc Genet is doing the post-race interview. It's been a while since we've heard from Marc Genet. What was I going to say? Leclerc, yeah, very disappointing. He'll be kicking himself for that mistake. That was a huge mistake for him to make. At least he didn't damage the car enough for him to go out of the race. Because if that had happened, That would have been major. That would have been really, really major. And Tsunoda then in 7th. Very solid. Tsunoda, yeah, he outdrove his teammate this weekend. So very, very good for Tsunoda. Earl says, thank you for the stream. Thank you very much, Earl, for joining us. Yeah. Thanks for your comments as well. It was something, because there wasn't too much happening on track from time to time. That's for sure. Vettel, solid for Vettel, 8th place, Magnussen 9th, and Stroll in 10th. Look, Magnussen in 9th is a good result for Haas, but you can't help but feeling a little bit disappointed just because of how to qualify for the sprint race and all of that. But by comparison to last season for Haas, what great results these are. Really, really good. And good to see Haas bounce back after a very challenging weekend in Australia. And that then, you know, Stroll in 10th, that rounds out the top 10. And just confirming, it was fastest lap for Max Verstappen as well. So well and truly the clean sweep for Max Verstappen. Yesterday, Perez had the fastest lap, but you don't get any points for that one in the sprint race, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, Alonso was out, Sainz was out. As I said, a very bad day for Spanish drivers in general. Ricardo finished in last behind Schumacher, and so I'm just waiting to see the bounce back from Ricardo and from Schumacher, and it's not coming. As disappointment after disappointment, and that makes me sad. But you know, it is what it is. Not everybody can do well or can win the races. Race leader, let me see, the race leader is now the race winner. It's Max Verstappen. He is our winner. Can we get some breaking news up here? Breaking news on the screen. Breaking news! Max Verstappen has won the Italian Grand Prix 2022. The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. There is a reason I've been calling it the Italian Grand Prix. And it's because I can't see the other one. My Italian is not so good. Not so good at all. And that disappeared rather fast. Let's bring that back. So breaking news, Max Verstappen has won the race, in case you did not know. Still no sign of the championship standings being updated. I must though comment a little bit on Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton finished in 13th in the end. And why was that? Yep, we have a Checo Perez supporter on the chat as well. Good result for Perez, really good result for Perez. They haven't updated the standings on there. They've updated the standings. We have updated driver standings. I'm very excited to bring you the updated driver standings. Let's do the top 10. Magnussen is in 10th place with 15 points. Ocon is in 9th place with 20 points. Bottas is in 8th place with 24 points. Lewis Hamilton now in 7th place with 28 points. Lando Norris is in 6th with 35 points. Sainz is down from 2nd to 5th on 38 points. Of course, he got no points today, so he's all the way down to 5th. That's how tight it is. Russell then is in 4th on 49 points. Perez is in 3rd on 54 points. Jumping up into 2nd place in the championship on 59 points, it's Max Verstappen. And then Leclerc is on 86 points, leading the championship. So he still has, let's do the math on this, 27 point lead in the championship. So it's still pretty comfortable for Leclerc, as in that's a fastest lap and a race win, 26 points, and even if he lost that, he'd be still leading the championship by 1 point. But there you have it. So yeah, Max Verstappen making big strides there, up into 2nd in the championship, and you feel like that's the way it should be, or needs to be at least. It's a shame I can't display this standing on the screen. I'll keep working away with the technology. Maybe the next time around I'll be able to do something fancy like that. Let me just take this opportunity to say, if you're watching us on Facebook, don't forget to like the video, like the page, you know, hit a reaction, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the race. A little bit boring, ever so slightly boring, I would say. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell if you want to be notified. It's very interesting. There's the podium finishers watching a replay of Leclerc And yeah, Verstappen was surprised that he was able to continue after that collision. Oh yeah, the front wing was well and truly broken. That's that's a rare insight you get there from the drivers. Rare insight. Yeah. There, at least he finished in 6th place. I think that's all we can say about that one. Yeah, thank you very much for your support. I think I'll leave it there for now. Hope to see you again soon for another race. We have, of course, the Miami GP coming up as well in the not too distant future. Take care of yourself. Have a good one. Have a great week ahead, and we'll speak to you again soon. Thank you.